So, hello, Cancer, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racey, and I'm going to be giving the messages for you today. They are general messages, so take them as they resonate for you. Leave them if they don't. If they don't resonate, don't force them to fit. All right, there are plenty of other wonderful readers on YouTube that just might resonate more with you at this time. This is for Cancer suns and those who have very significant Cancer placements, strong Cancer placements in their charts, okay? If you're familiar with your chart, you know what house Cancer rules and what's in there. This could give you some really specific insights into certain areas of your life. All right, for those of you not familiar with me or the channel, I do not sugarcoat my messages. I have no filter. So if that is not your thing, or you have children around, or you just don't appreciate that kind of a message, you know, I'm always very respectful of that. And I'm giving you the opportunity to sign off now. Otherwise, I'm using my Icarus Tarot, my Naked Heart Tarot, and my Sacred Rebel Oracle to get you some guidance at the end. All right, so Spirit, please, for Cancer and Cancerian energies, what is the archetypal milestone? What is the archetypal milestone in the healing, the part of the journey that they're in, and that they're moving through the month of September? Okay, what is the archetypal milestone or energy that they are looking at for the month of September? Okay. We got the Death card in the reverse and we have the Hermit on the bottom. So listen. Cancer. The Death card in the reverse is a fear of going so deep that your whole reality changes. It's a fear of letting yourself get so deep that you don't see where you're going. You can't see where you're going. You've allowed yourself to get so deep, right? It's a fear of being so deep that you don't know what could possibly happen, right? Reaching depths within the self in your reality that is terrifying, because you know once you go down that far, you really can't see what's happening. Okay, you don't know if you'll sink. You don't know if you'll ever find your way back up to the surface. You don't know what potential, you know, predators or threats lie down there, that being that deep could hurt you and you could be lost there, right? That you could get lost in the dark. It's scary. But the thing about the octopus is it doesn't necessarily need to see. It feels and it senses. You do intuitively understand that going to those deep depths is not something you can't actually navigate through. You might not to be able to see the reality, but you know when you get real deep and allow someone to understand you really deep, that you can feel your way through, trusting yourself, that it's okay to get deep. It's okay to allow someone to be in your shadows with you, right? That you would be able to go down into your depths and feel and sense out the treasure that you've been depriving yourself of, right? By not going down to those depths and actually going for the treasure at the bottom of the sea. You know what I mean? There's always a treasure down there. And going down to those depths and allowing yourself to transform, you find that gift, right? You find that gold in the dark that changes your life, right? It transforms it. You just have to be able to allow yourself to get deep. So with that, right? Don't be afraid of the change. Don't be afraid of the change and allowing yourself to go there. Okay? Don't be afraid of the depths. You got this, Cancer. Transformation is, you got this. You're letting go of, I think you're letting go of the fear state and really going into the acceptance that, like, the Temperance energy comes after the Death card. Is being received by your guardian angel energy. In your experience, when you go deep, your guardian angels say thank you, and they alchemize the reality to match the beautiful depth that you've allowed yourself to understand, right? Even about your own self and how your depths affect you, right? How your depths affect you when you won't let yourself go there, right? How you get stuck in a reversed energy, right? You can't get that deep treasure you want, that you're striving for. It's just in the dark and you don't know where to find it or how to get it. And so it's like, just let yourself be deep and you'll feel your way through, right? Just let yourself be deep and you'll feel your way through. So Spirit, what does this look like for September for Cancer? Four of Swords, taking a moment to step back and think and clear your mind. Right, when something hurts the heart, right, 3 swords, that comes before the 4. The 3 swords hurts, and you have to just take your mental space and reconnect with your truth, right? You just needed your space and your time to reconnect with your truth. When we feel hurt or we feel wounded or we're afraid to get deep, we retreat, right? We retreat, we pull back our energy and go into the reflection state where we start to try and understand what's down there, right? We start to try and understand what's going on beneath the surface, because we sense the good in it when we tackle it, but at the same time, you know what I mean? It's a big unknown. You're facing a big unknown. So retreating into the self. What else, Spirit, please? Innocence of Cups. Innocence of Cups is usually a heartfelt apology. So either you might be issuing an apology, maybe somebody else is issuing you an apology, maybe you're both apologizing to each other for not being perfect, right? Maybe you're both apologizing to each other for not being perfect, because when we refuse to transform, there's a lot of controlling elements, right? There's a lot of controlling elements in the belief, controlled beliefs that it has to be a certain way, right? Before the Death card is the Hanged Man, which is all about perception. And so this is coming out of knowing that you need the perspective change. You need to let the new reality, like the dream, kind of take place, and it's almost like refusing to let the dream exist. And so even though you obviously want the dream, right? I don't think you realize Scorpionic energy it's almost sabotaging, right? Self-sabotaging by trying to control it too much. This is knowing that mutual understanding and compassion is needed. Apologies need to be given and accepted, okay? And with the Judgment card coming out next and the Justice, I think any past issues that you were afraid of repeating get balanced out, right? And last month, Cancer was, the message was don't freak out, like the past is not repeating. So if you were triggered in August about some really dark stuff in your past, right, that you haven't necessarily gone and reflected in for a while because it's painful to go down there, and you haven't really talked about it, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of energy. And once you allow that dark shit to kind of come up and transform, balance is restored. When you go deep and allow it to transform, balance is restored, because everybody's always responsible, right? Everybody's always responsible. If we all made different choices, one choice here, one choice there, a lot of different things would have changed along the way. And you can't go back in hindsight and change shit that you did or didn't do. So it's understanding that nothing is perfect. The process in itself seems flawed, even though it is divinely perfect. And we just have to allow the healings to take place, allow the depths to be reached, not just in you, but in other people, because you could very well be witnessing someone else, right? Because everything is a mirror. You could be witnessing someone else who's refused to change very deeply, right? And touch on things that is very deep within them that were painful, that they've had to retreat from and tried to ignore, right? And they might not have understood just how what's going on in their depths affected you, right? So take it as it resonates. It could definitely go both ways. Movement of Swords is about communication, swift, clear communication, about a vision to move forward, about a vision that is light, a new dawn, a new potential possibility, right? Soul movement, soul growth, forward, of equal giving and receiving and consideration. I think that once someone understands your depths, the dark depths where the treasure hides, the treasure of the truth, right? The treasure of the truth, to give this person understanding. I think you're going to be equally receiving back what's been keeping them stuck in cycles of not being able to give and receive and be considerate, appropriately, and vice versa, right? Where things are unbalanced in relationship dynamics. It's not a balance. It feels weighted, and this is about creating a cycle where you're both feeding each other, right? You're both cycling with each other. You're moving forward into that balanced dynamic. So you might have been dealt something really hard, right? Something really hard, past energy, scorpionic energy, depending on where Scorpio is in your chart. Depending on where Scorpio is in your chart with all this energy, Scorpio rule and Pluto, this is deep soul scars. Deep soul scars, and it's linked to Mars, which is Aries, and scorpionic energy is a very sexually driven energy. So depending on what your history was with past relationships, whether you were in relationships where intimacy was not enjoyable, or there's, or addictions even, because Scorpio deals with addictions. So this is a whole lot of past energy that is mirroring in your reality with someone else, and realizing that even as adults, right? Even as adults, we all need to choose to love ourselves more. We all need to choose to communicate love more. We all need to be considerate more. We've never lived the life of somebody else from the moment they were born. We don't know what they've seen. We don't know what they've endured or gone through. We don't know what pain they've taken, right? And just because someone puts on armor, just like we put on armor, doesn't mean they're not a mess inside. It goes for everybody, especially, men, or masculine energy, where we feel like we can't be emotional and give and keep giving. There's a part of us that gets hurt and wants to pull back and control it. And yet there's a part of us that just wants to fucking give love, because giving love feels really good, and receiving love feels really good, and positive emotional consideration being communicated and transparent feels really good. And I think that's what you're moving into. Understanding how you can actually create that in your life, right? In your life, whatever that is for you, whatever that is for you. I feel like you're definitely going to come out of this with a much better understanding of your deep self and the deep self of another. And I think that's going to really champion the experience moving forward. Like the whole world is at your fingertips. Like it's almost like finding that counterpart that fits the emperor role, right? This is not a king under an emperor. This is the emperor role. This is someone who understands their place of power and respects and honors that role in your life. And likewise with yourself, you honor that within yourself, your ability to choose better choices, knowing the world is at your fingertips to create, and it's just a matter of pouring deep, right? Because even whales, like real deep symbolism, deep energy, real deep heartfelt energy, deep. So spirit, oh, that came out real quick. I was gonna say, what guidance, yeah. The conscious connections, you're looking in a mirror. I'm telling you, there's no coincidence why these cards come out. You're looking in a divine mirror. A part of you is looking right at yourself, and a part of you refuses to see yourself in someone else. In someone else, a part of you has to look at the darkness that this person is triggering you about yourself, and a part of you does not want to see it at all. And it's about bringing color, bringing purpose, bringing lesson learning, bringing the acceptance that you've grown, right? Beyond your darkness, right? You've already grown beyond your darkness, which is why you have no problem going under there to get it and use it as a teaching tool to explain to someone how you've come to be where you are now. You're not in that old energy anymore. You don't want that old energy to dictate your life. You're comfortable enough to go down there and talk about it because you won't let it control you down there anymore. And somebody else is dealing with the same thing. They have some really dark, painful stuff that they have way down there at the bottom of their ocean, and they're terrified to go down there and bring it up and talk to you about it, and it's affecting their ability to move forward. Just like you have your own, and it affects your ability to move forward. You and someone else are going through the exact same thing in your own way with each other. And if you can understand that, You can have compassion and let your energy drive the experience, which is visions of life beyond death. After you've been through such a cycle where you feel like everything in life dies, everything good dies, everything good ends, nothing actually sustains, right? Where you feel like you're whipping a dead horse. This is feeling dead in your ability to create, and it's life beyond the death. This is life beyond death. This is the vision you hold beyond your stuckness. You have a certain vision of what you want to experience. And the only way to get to that vision of what you really want to experience is to really hold compassion for where you were when you were making mistakes. And knowing that if you can grow, someone else can grow. And if you can understand you, they can understand you. Likewise, if you can understand them, they can understand you. In a way that you've been refusing to look at yourself, right? Just like you're looking at them and seeing them in a way that maybe they're refusing to look at themselves. And you're able to heal yourself through that awareness, right? That awareness of perspective. You don't have to see. It doesn't matter what it looks like. The reality could look like death. Run the fuck over. It could look done, right? But it's not done. It's not done. You don't necessarily see how it could keep going, but the fact of the matter is you sense and know that it will. You sense and know that it will. You know you're more beautiful in this person's life, you're wise in this person's life, and they are to you. They're gifting you with something that you've been very closed off to receiving for a really long time. I hope this helps, Cancer. I hope this helps, because when shit hits the fan and goes sideways, it's really, honest to God, no one's fault. We're all fucked up and hurt somewhere. And hurt people. But healed people heal people. So if you want to be in your healed energy, then just ripple love, ripple compassion, understand nobody's fucking perfect. And as long as you are supportive of the transformation, supportive of the vulnerability, right? Exposing what's been hidden, right? That you've been afraid to touch on, and they will be able to do the same, and you will have such a better, more clear understanding of what it is that was blocking you from actually creating your best life. Because I feel like you already have it. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of allowing it to actually be and exist. This dream you have, this happiness that you have, and the way it looks and feels. There's a choice that's been stopping you from living it. And it's time to finally make the better choice. And maybe even acknowledge that maybe that choice should have been made a long time ago, right? So, because it's been a refusal, right? It's been a refusal or a denial to go deep. And so it probably should have happened a while ago, and it's just now coming to a head because the universe is bringing you forward and saying, hey, Cancer, you know, you really can't stay stuck anymore. It's evolution time, and you're going to be so happy that you did. This is where your life actually starts. This is where your life actually starts. It's not ending. The old you that was struggling with your deep self is ending. The reality of you releasing the toxicity and your understanding of that deep self is what's healing and finally giving you the experiences so worth living, because you're allowing it to exist and you're not denying it. Right? You're allowing it to exist and you're not denying it. So, if you want more from me, Cancer, all of my information's in the description box below. Until next time, Divine Rebel Racey is signing off. Remember always to love each other, and most importantly, love yourself, right? Love yourself enough to love another who you know fucking loves you. Truly. Because I feel it. Let the love flow. We all have dark shit that fucks up our stuff in the present, right? The past stuff that fucks up our present. Anyway. Until next time, Cancer. Bye, everybody.